Here we go. What do you mean I have no... Ah. Oh, sorry. This is so weird. Let me try. Oh, no, it's not like that. Okay, how do we... Oh, these. This here. Okay, finally. I realized how to make it work. Okay, so guys, hi. Yeah, my name's maybe I'm still working on a big review with a bunch of movies where I would talk with you about Trinket Box, Immaculate, All You Need Is Death, and Last Night at Terrace Lanes, and a few other stuff. And uh, like editing is my weakness because I'm. It's a process. At um, at like first of all, it's a process, and second of all, like it's really hard for me because I need to force myself, etc., etc. So I thought maybe I'll just, do a live stream where I would talk with you, for example, about imaginary movie that I just watched maybe half an hour ago, and actually there was a movie that I think was pretty hyped up because, well, it's Lionsgate and Blumhouse productions, and yeah, they make good movies, and every time you see their logos in the titles, you know that the movie at least would have a nice picture. But the plot here, and also a little story. When I was working for that interesting lady who decided that my like passion in life is to make a channel with movie recaps, and she wanted to, well, she wanted just to have a lot of money really, really quick, and that's not how it went. So yeah, here I am, unemployed, and at first she wanted for us to make some trailer recaps or something like that, like trailer edits, and I was always given this weird, no, well, not weird, but action movies, and I don't like action movies like at all. When she gave me some freedom, I was like, yeah, 8 out of 10 trailers were about horror movies, and I couldn't make a trailer about imaginary because, well, um, it was like uh, was how do you work? Like it was given to another person, and yeah, I just watched this movie. Actually, I was like left in it out for a long time because maybe I thought it would be good movie. It's the same thing with Night Swim. It's somewhere in my need to watch list. So yeah, I just watched this movie Imaginary, and I was so not impressed with it, guys. Like, nah. Also, I think I need to check my audio just to be safe because I have no idea how I sound, etc. Oh, I think we can put our background music a little bit. Okay, so uh, dealing with this. As I said, I just watched this imaginary movie, and uh, I really expected more from it because I felt like it was a big hype and two good productions, but actually, nah. I have a feeling that with these big names, big productions, like we get this nice picture, but I have a feeling that plots are getting weaker and weaker and weaker because actually why I sometimes like to watch B-rated movies because, well, my girlfriend, she, well, told me some time ago that she watched some video, and then they were talking about the thing that you need to have a specific structure in the movies nowadays and also in horror movies, and I kind of think that yeah, it's kind of an issue because you can see especially with big productions like they're putting a lot of efforts in jump scares nowadays and not in the things that really should have been more focused, should have had more focus. Okay, whatever. So I got what I want to say. And with this movie. Also, yeah, we're talking about a horror movie about bears, and you see, I got a 4 bears, especially for you. So, movie. I think the plot is so, and also, yeah, there are gonna be some spoilers here. So, at first, let's talk about jump scares, and that's what I hate about movies. I'm that type of person who, like, is really into these. Sorry, I'm gonna take my water. So, I'm that type of person who is into this horror atmosphere, and I want to make a video. I think soon, maybe not, I don't know. And then I would talk with you about some movies, horror movies I like, and what I don't really like in horror movies, and one of the biggest ick of mine, and the thing that I don't really like, even hate, is jump scares, because it's not even that I hate jump scares. I hate when they pick really. I hate when there is a big difference in the volume of the audio on jump scares. We have these um, jump in volume, and I'm really sensitive person, and loud noises sometimes can really like irritates me, and also like I'm a person with heart condition in the past, like yeah, I had my surgery, but and when they like give you these jump scare, your heart is like I want to leave. uh, Get me out of here. So, imaginary. From the first moments of this movie, we got these jump scares, and also, I don't really like this structure when they uh, give you. Well, it was kind of a nightmare, yeah, but at the same time, they kind of spoiled a lot of stuff for you, because, well, it was basically the thing that you would see later. I'm sorry. Weird sounds, but okay. So, English. How do people articulate in English? Like every time I'm trying to speak English, my mouth is like, the hell are we doing here? So, um, they kind of spoiled almost everything, I think, and the base of this plot, like the whole idea of it, was like we have this family and they're going into a new home. Oh, in this case, an old home where our main character, main heroine, uh, what was her name? J- Jessica? I think Jessica was her name, and typical horror movies, like you just watched it, and what the characters were called again? So, um, our main character, she went with her new family in her old house where she had a lot of good memories, but at the same time, all her good memories were like one tape she had of her childhood, and a weird thing, she haven't remembered anything from that time, but she saw the tape, and yeah, I'm happy in the tape, so it's it's good, I think. Like, I don't know, that's really really weird, but like people. So they're going to this new old house, and then the youngest daughter, she uh, walks into the basement, like like, okay, okay. Uh, Sometimes you see these movies and you're like, haven't you watched at least one horror movie or some like horror story or like anything at all? Nowadays, okay. Um, she went to this basement and she found the bear, Chauncey, and then she began to speak with him, and it's her imaginary friend, and everyone is around is like, oh, it's just imaginary friend, like no big deal, and uh, you know, some tropes and some storylines I can watch and read over and over and over and over again. And cursed things are kind of okayish for me, but here I was like, I think I oh saw so many movies before about, oh no, scary imaginary friend. Oh no, where have I watched it before? So, so. Noises, noises. How do you do this with your mouse, etc.? Okay, so um, we have these bear, and actually maybe if they just would stick with him in this form, I would be like, okay, okay. Like we saw a few movies, I think, when there were these. Well, oh, I think I've seen so many of those types of movies, and of course, I don't remember a lot of the titles, like maybe all of the titles, but I saw some movies where this cursed thing was just cursed thing. We saw some movies where this doll was someone's type to type of communication with the outside world, and also we saw some movies uh, where some little people lived in these dolls, toys, etc. Oh my gosh, I remember one movie, I actually liked it a lot. It was dolls, like really, 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 really old movie, and it was interesting, and there were little toys, and inside these toys lived little like creatures that wanted just to kill. That was kind of interesting, and I liked the ending there. The ending was pretty interesting also. So here, here we saw in the first jump scare that our main character Jess, she Jessica, she have these nightmares about spider, and I think she uh, transformed these nightmares of hers into her artwork, and she wrote a book and drawn some stories about this spider monster, Simon, and the way he's trying to catch this little centipede or something like that. Um, and yeah, the little girl said that he's icky. Yeah, he's icky. He's kind of scary, and you should kill him. And you're like, okay, a nice beginning. And actually, this movie could have like ended, I think, long before 1 hour and 44 or something like that minutes, if it would be something like that there. So, also we saw in the beginning this weird door and with this happy um, flower sticker from where this little girl got this bear, and also I kind of haven't got what the deal with this spider is, and also this spider, he was like Miss Anities from Creep TV, like evil twin brother or something like that. Like yeah, something like that thing, like Miss Anity, but like ugly, I think, and more dull. Like if the whole thing was Clancy's uh, doing. What the heck was with this spider? He just appeared because Jessica had a big imagination. I thought maybe they were like two entities or something like that. Like, mm, or maybe the Clancy was the Spider-Man, but then in imaginary world we saw that Clancy was uh, aggressive bear or something like that. Or maybe Clancy was just the whole world. I don't know. It's so weird. Like who the heck was he? So so. Um, yeah, Blue Dome in the imaginary world. Like okay, Alice in Wonderland. And oh yeah, by the way, I just noticed little girl's name is actually Alice. So yeah, and also husband of this Jessica, our main character, he kind of reminded me about Joy Beatty. Oh, how his name is pronounced, who played Jaskier in Witcher series. Well, he's still playing, but for me, like Witcher was season one, and that's it. Season one was bad, but what they did after was like, nah, not impressed. And also, and also, kind of that guy who played McGregor in Jungle Cruise. Oh, he was like a twin of Yasuke from Witcher season one. And I actually thought that when I learned that the actors are different, I actually thought for quite a while in the movie that they like forced him to act like Yasuke, because even some mannerism, I think, were like in manners, and the way he uh, acted and representing himself were kind of really similar. So I like these types of movies, like typical horror about well, yeah, typical horror. At the 30 minutes mark, he was like this character who I just don't even know who's his what's his name is, but okay. So he was like, "Oh, I'm going out on a tour," and especially because his new girlfriend, she likes his daughter, but the older daughter Taylor, she's like not really a big fan of her, and you just leave your kids with your girlfriend, or maybe wife, I don't know, but maybe girlfriend, and no, mom, they were saying like evil's mom or something like that. So you're just leaving them with her, and okay. So he was like, I'm going out on a tour, and that's it. We haven't saw him like at all until the end. We only got Jessica mentioned. Well, Jessica only mentioned his name once when his younger daughter was trying to hurt herself, and she was like, I don't know what to do, etc. So yeah, that's it, like typical horror. The husband is out, and some weird just when some weird stuff is starts to happen, he's like, I'm out of here. Going on a tour, that's much more important, etc. And also a few funny details is when this Taylor girl, she um, got this random guy to visit her. uh, she decided to watch with him Warm Bodies movie, like what the heck. And he was like, yeah, let's do some stuff, let's eat some meds that were actually uh, allergy meds of his mom, but okay. So so um, Warm Bodies. Oh, I wanted to joke about the thing that actually funny story. Like she asked him and put on Warm Bodies. Yeah, well, when I was 15, I asked a 20 years old guy to come to my place and at night. Yeah, funny story. And I was telling him about like, hey, looks what's on the screen. So I'm watching this anime, Gunslinger Girl, and well, it's a character I like, and she's killing now her boyfriend. Well, not really a boyfriend, but a guy she liked, and yeah. He wasn't impressed, but he was a weird guy, and that's a story maybe for another time. So, Warm Bodies. Also, we had this, well, another reference. We had a reference to uh, Inside Out. So, this old sister was like, no, I'm not like the other girls. Um, and that's why she was angry at Jessica, because Jessica said to this new boy that Taylor was 15 and no like clubs with underage drinking for her. So she decided to give him a few references. Also, like they referenced Inside Out cartoon like a lot, and she was telling this guy like being born like that guy from Inside Out, and also they were talking about him uh, with that old lady, and we're gonna talk about her in a few minutes. So, 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 actually, I watched this movie in like 1.5 speed or maybe 1.6, and at 30 minutes mark I got really bored, and I got even more bored at the ending. Like the last 20 minutes for me, when they went to this imaginary world, they opened the secret door and they went there, I was like, nah, that's actually too boring for me. So later in the movie, well, after we saw some jump scares because this guy touched something of Alice, and she was like, Clancy, go, run, and eat him. It was interesting. So then we found out that after this girl was youngest sister was trying to um, hurt herself because it was set in the list, and there was a list like a scavenger hunt kind of list where she needed to get some items or do stuff to open then a portal to go with her imaginary friend, to be with him, I guess, forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, or something like that. So one of the tasks were what it was. Uh, Something that hurts, and she like decided to uh, injure herself injure herself with the help of Rusty Nail. And now I have two reference about Rusty Nail, because first one, of course, is Supernatural, right? Like spoilers, but the thing that killed someone there, like um, nothing could, no one could, except a Rusty Nail. And also the movie Immaculate, like. But I guess okay. That was weird. That was weird. I I would be talking with you about the movie Immaculate. Well, it was nice, but I kind of got really tired of these types of plot, and it's not my favorite. It's far from my favorite types of plot. So here. Um, we learned after this, after a doctor came to see this Alice, that uh, her imaginary friend was really imaginary, if you can say it. Uh, let's say it like that. So, um, this Clancy was seen only by Alice and also Jessica. And Jessica learned that he wasn't real, and at all of the pictures, he wasn't real, etc. And it was kind of weird because we saw in the phone that he was there, but then it appeared that he wasn't there. So I guess, okay, like. Why she, if she was seeing him, why she like suddenly stopped to see him, even in the recordings, like, okay, I guess, I think. And I think this movie reminds me about that or something like that, when it was even weirder, I think, there, because a girl should have been a wife of Zed, and then he. I don't even remember what the heck was happening there, but I think that her daughter uh, was being like influenced by him at the end. Like, I don't remember actually, but I remember that like the mom agreed to be his wife in the end. And also here, like, I have never seen such plot before, where this mom, like, yeah, mom, Jessica, she had this, of course she doesn't remember anything, of course, and then she years later comes to this old house when where her childhood was spent, and she's like, yeah, realized, well, not realized, but she learned after that it was all her fault. It was her imaginary friend, and that's why Alice is seeing now this imaginary friend, and that's why Alice disappeared, etc., etc., etc. And so, 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 so. Then we see this old lady. Let's just go in like that, in this direction. Um, I'm trying to be linear. I'm trying. So we saw this old lady. We saw her in the beginning, just her being a creep and being kind of harsh with kids, etc. And actually, at first, I thought that they like missed the opportunity to make her kind of, you know, crazy, and um, that wasn't really the case. And um, we get into this ending now. So. At first, she was just a weird neighbor, but then when Alice disappeared, Taylor found her, and then this old lady invited Taylor to her place, and I kind of thought that some weird stuff would be happening there, but no, she was like, oh yeah, I have this weird corridor, etc., etc., and I was writing these stories about imaginary friends or something like that for all these years, and everyone thought I was crazy, but I wasn't actually, because imaginary friends, they really exist, and this Clancy, he really existed, and now I'm gonna go with you to this imaginary place. And also then we kind of, well, it was really, really weird because then this old lady came to our Jessica, and they were trying this kids scavenger hunt, and we had a few uh, puns about mm, no, being born is bad. Here he's not being Pixar being born being born. He's being born is bad, and he has Alice, and his name is Clancy, and we realized then that her father was always talking about CP, and that's how Jessica called these bear. And okay, I think okay. So about this old woman, old woman. So, as I said before, at first I thought that they missed the opportunity because she was like, "Oh no, I didn't want to talk with her about this because I thought that she was just don't remember it, etc." But now, and she wasn't even like acting really crazy. She was like, "Oh yeah, and now I want to go with you, yeah." And I was looking at her like, okay, that's super weird. Not in a good kind of weird, but like you're just another Meg character. But then we got that scene when they, yeah, of course, they finished this kids scavenger hunt, and the door to magical spirit world appeared, and they went into it, and the old lady's name was Gloria, and she was like nonchalant, like, yeah, this weird entity, he wanted to like grab you and keep you there, but your father saved you. And I was like, you're talking too calmly about it. That's super weird. That's super weird. But then she kind of well, the creators kind of tried to show that she was this weird lady, and that's the problem with me and this whole part, the ending. Like, I think that the creators of this movie, and especially screenwriter or screenwriters, they kind of messed up a, a lot, a really lot, because I think they tried too many plot twists there, and that was really annoying because, mm, like I said, I thought she was a crazy lady, but then they were showing her and she wasn't crazy, and I was like, okay, weird, but okay. But then uh, she just, mm, she just trapped them, and she was like, this incredible kingdom of our imagination, wanted to be here, yada, and yeah, I was like, so she's really crazy, but she kind of knows something about this place. And she was like, after this, I was so sad that I didn't go with you, and this entity talked with me. Like, how? Like, how? If you haven't even been to this place since, how it talked with you? Like, how? And then this entity, this Clancy, just ate her, and I was like, okay. And also, when they, at first, well, not at first, okay, when they went to one of the rooms with the number of old apartment of Alice and Taylor's place. When Jessica and Taylor was walking by, I thought they wanted to make a Caroline reference, and I kind of felt like they kind of tried really hard to push this Caroline, or we trying to like show our respects to that story, because at first we had I don't know why a lot of talk about Inside Out. Then we have a lot of reference with Caroline. Like, yeah, uh, they were not really saying and making it 100% identical, but they were kind of identical, because Taylor and Jessica, they were going by and behind their backs, um, the picture frame where uh, no, not Jessica, her husband, Taylor, Alice, and their mother, oh, um, her boyfriend's previous wife, they were like ordinary picture, and then when those two went, they turned into figures. They like became a little bit crooked, and also their eyes turned to black, and their eyes were not with buttons, yeah, but it was just black circles, and I thought it was like a really, 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 really cheap way to try and make something like that. uh, I don't know. And also, then when they came into this room with Alice, and it turned out that her mother was there, but not real mother, but the imaginary mother, ideal mother, stuff like that, and. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. And at first it was okay, and then they made this door with just blue color. And yeah, it's our imagination, and that's how it works here. If it's a world of imagination and everything is possible here, can you just imagine this door like randomly appear, or just I imagine that we have a bright light here and the Clancy is dead, and or just like we have this room full of some weapon or stuff like that, that we can fight with. I don't know, anything. No, we just use our imagination by grabbing cupcakes and drawing with it on the wall. Like, that was so weird. And then they went through this door, and yay, we're safe. And you have this kind of happy ending, and I was like scrolling to see, is it all because like it's the cheesiest ending? And it wasn't. It was like kind of nightmare, because he wasn't letting you go. You have this weird imagination. Like, I just don't get it. Everyone was talking about how she has this incredible imagination for incredible things. Like what things? Like what things? Uh, like what? Like she uh, imagined this spider guy, or what? Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. What was so special about our main character Jessica? Like, what was so special about her? You have this weird you have this imagination. Oh, even that old lady was like, oh, I'm also a writer, but not as good as you, because you have this imagination. Like, and especially when in that type of happy ending that they showed us. And also why I have some problems with it, because she was almost left there, but then Taylor pushed her into this world, and kind of happy ending, but then everyone like turned into this family from other world, from Caroline, because they all had those circle dark eyes. Yeah, it was not like flat, but kind of roundish. But at the same time, you try, guys, but you failed miserably. And then we saw this Taylor. She just went there and just hit one of those figures, and I was like, how? How she appeared there? Like, how? Just out of nowhere. And then they were also trying to put her once again into the real, and it was like, you know, when you have one plot twist, it's okay. When you have two plot twists, it's like kind of also okay. But plot twist on a plot twist with a plot twist, and you're getting like, okay, like I really don't care. And also the beginning, at the beginning, like, yeah, great finale. And also I talked about it. The like her husband or her boyfriend, like I don't know where they were at there, but he disappeared at the 30 minutes mark, and we haven't even seen him at the end. Like, we saw him in like the latest Coraline inspired part, but at the end, no. They just try to burn this place because, no, Clancy, we were never friends, never ever, said the Alice, and burned the place down. But before, she wasn't brave enough to make a fire, and I was like, why is it so bad? Why is it so bad? I mean, they made a few nice movies. I even watched, like, Lionsgate made Saw movie. It was nice. Yeah, some of the movies maybe not were at the same high standards, but at the same time, they had nice movies like Blumhouse. I just Blumhouse. I think Bloom. Okay. So they made a Sinister movie. It was. I think that movie also was kind of a joke for some time because of this thing about he just picks kids and go with them, and I like little kids to pick videos. That's like, it was a meme. And also because sometimes you just joke around some stuff because you don't, either you laugh at it or you cry at it. So also another few movies were like 13 Scenes and Black Phone. Actually, that was a movie I quite liked, and I really wanted to make a fun bit about those two. Oh, I forgot how were the names, but the main character and his friend, because it was a sad story, and yeah, it was sad. But it was good. It was good. The story was really sad, but it was nicely shown. And here, like, I don't know. It's kind of annoys me when we have some nice movies, but with such a low budget, and you watch them, and uh, you know that they won't be anything like big. Mostly because like they were really, really not so um, much of money there put in the production, and then we have a big movies, and you watch them and you're like, man, like I'm not that kind of person who is like I watch bad movies and speak bad about them, and that's what makes me happy. No, but like it was meh. I don't know. I was kind of well. I wasn't really expecting much of it, because it was like, yeah, another movie with kind of the same plot, but at the same time, you saw like big productions, and maybe they would make something nice, like, yeah. Oh, and of course, another scene that I like, when these three were in the hospital, they saw the bear and they were like, "Oh my gosh, is it him? Is it Clancy?" And Taylor was, "I'm seeing him too." But then it turns out that it was just a kid who was playing with his imaginary friend, and I think it was one of the kids who injured himself. And first of all, I don't like these types of movies, like the end. The end! And also, like, they save themselves, but this place is still the same state, and all those monsters were just left there. Okay, I guess I really hope they won't make another movie. It's so sad when you see some movies and you're like, I want to see another part. I would really like to see more about this universe and these types of characters. But at the same time, when you're like, I'm a really boy, what was the year of that movie, about the doll, yeah, and I was like, yeah, that's a nice one, and then they made a second one, and I was like, what, why, what is this, why, like, it's so weird. I i kind of get when, even in fics, in one chapter, the character can have one kind of personality, yeah, and in the other he may be kind of like OOS, because OOC, I don't know how it's pronounced correctly. So because well, not maybe in the first and the second chapter, but maybe like in the first and like in hundreds maybe. But when you like switch the plot like 100%. We had this story, like it was okay, and it was a possibility to make a second movie, but no, you decided like let's like screw the first movie, yeah, and we'll make another movie and like make like 180 to the whole concept of this movie. Like, no, not really interested in that. Yikes. So I think that was all I wanted to talk with you about. Maybe something about a few words about this Clancy bear in his like bear. I don't know where your jokes about women. I will still choose a bear. Yeah, well, maybe not this one, and also maybe not in his form in imaginary world, because like that old lady Gloria chose the bear, and she survived like for a few seconds, I think. Okay, for a few minutes, but we're dealing with these type of entities, I think. Like, mm, you know, I'm kind of uh, have mixed feelings about this whole thing, because not about this movie. Mm, but like in general these types of movies about imaginary friends, because there are a lot of possibilities, and even if we saw hundreds of stories like that, well, we saw hundreds of love stories, yeah. And still there are some movies that you see and you're like, wow, that was something unusual. And here also, well, I get kind of um, the problem here, because it was much more easier to make movies even like 10 years ago, well, 20 and 30 and 40 especially, because there were not a lot of movies about different stuff, and like first time they made Omen movie, it was like, oh my gosh, movie about Antichrist. And now, like, can you even surprise people with this plot? I guess not, because we saw a lot of movies with stuff like that, and also like imaginary friends and ghost stories and haunted houses, etc. I think that what some um, creators are trying to do, that works pretty nice. They're trying to, well, maybe put some new problems in the movie, or they're trying to like take a different approach to things, and yeah, that's kind of interesting, especially, well, like we heard a lot of well, for example, yeah, let's get this series about ghost detectives, yeah. We had a lot of stories about ghosts, but ghost detectives, something interesting. And I still haven't watched it, especially because, well, you know, I have so much movies to watch and to maybe make some reviews of them. I don't know. I really thought about just making streams because I really hate to edit, and it's so bad. And especially, I have a feeling that when you're trying to uh, no, I'm gonna say it the other way. So when I just talk or just trying to say stuff aloud, I'm like, yeah, of course I can talk for um, a few minutes or even hours, and that will be okay. But when I film myself, I put the camera, I got into some outfit, maybe, maybe not, and I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna film. And then when I'm editing, like I have a lot of mistakes and sometimes I don't really hear them. And it's the same problem with my native language, and I really got annoyed with it. Like I was so pissed and I was so angry at myself for a long time because what's wrong with you? And I have a lot of problems in my school. Well, not problems because I had a good marks, but every time they asked me to read something aloud in English or in Russian, I was like, no, because usually if you make one mistake, it's minus the point, and you're like, and when you only have 10 points, it's really stressful. And also, yeah, when I edit, I see some mistakes, and I'm like, we cut in these, and here, oh, that's another problem. My girl always complains about it. I don't finish my sentences. Like, I start here, but then I'm like, and also about this thing. Let's talk for 20 minutes about some stuff that is quite irrelevant to the topic, but let's just talk, and enjoy ourselves. Oh yeah. Mm, fun times. Um, also, maybe I'm gonna talk for a few moments. I have one person who's watching me, so um, maybe I think I never actually addressed the thing why I was I was making mostly let's plays here, and also, yeah, uh, it was so frustrating because I read also with mistakes, and when I try to edit stuff, I cut every pause. And you can really go mad when you say stuff like that, and you after try to cut after like every word, and it's so frustrating, like really frustrating. Oh gosh. And also, yeah, I had some mispronunciations of words, and sometimes I just freeze, and especially when you need to think what to do next, and just freeze. And just remember some words. I was trying also. Yeah, I was making some let's plays even in Russian. I was like, okay, so maybe because I kind of have this Russian audience, uh, it would be like it was. Oh gosh, it was how many years ago? It was, I think, 7 years ago when I was here, and I also tried to make something there, and I was translating everything. And it was so much work for 10 views, and I was like, no one's really cares about it. And it was sad And also, it was funny that no one actually translated the game Break Chance Momenta into Russian. And I was trying to do it, but it was a lot of work. And some guys tried to, and I think they got to like part of it, but I even made a lot more translated stuff than they did. So yeah, that was it. And also, I have only my notebook, and he's really, 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 really loud. And especially when I was trying to record some browser games, he was like, maybe, kind of okayish. But games when you need to run or stuff like that, no. Like, no, because I only use my touchpad mostly, and even then I was like, no. Like, my boyfriend is a necromancer. uh, sometimes you make videos and you're so proud of yourself, but then you watch back at it and it's like I'm running into the wall every freaking time. And even when creator said like, yeah, thanks playing my game, I was like, gosh, you were so polite. Oh my gosh. And yeah, that's why when I was trying to play games, and especially I got really frustrated because a few times my notebook just decided to shut down because OBS plus the game was too much for it. And well, OBS, or maybe just when I was even recording, um, like screenshots. Sometimes it got too much of gigabytes, and it just boom shut down. And also, even without it, it was too much work, and the noise, and I really never got the money to make it. And also, I kind of got frustrated like in 2017 because yeah, I really like to voice over um, and like um, give voices even if they're really really annoying, and people wrote to me about it. And also in English I'm like I think kind of bulletproof to hate comments. Well, I never actually got any hate comments here, and it was really really weird for me because who knows my story about my Russian channel in 2017. I decided, I was like, this girl who was like, yeah, I'm going to bring some good LGBT stuff to Russian people, etc., etc. And I actually put a lot of effort into it. Like, I made a few tops with some ads, etc. But at the same time, at the same time, mm, while doing it, I now think that I kind of got tricked by some people, and that's really annoying because mm, I made a few videos about some people, and I was like, yeah, that's so good, that's so nice, etc. And then years later, I'm looking at it and I'm like, no, that's not nice. It was not nice, especially because we now, after years, I think like this year, 2024, is the year of cancellation, like everyone. And not just cancellation, I think. just even 7 years later, we saw things from a different type of lens, I think. And some stuff were okayish, and now when we see the result of some things, you're like, no, they're not, they're not okayish. Sadly, sadly, sadly. So about the channel, so um, I wasn't planning on it, but it got pretty uh, popular for a few time, for a few months, and in 1 month or a few, I think I got what you got? I'm sorry. 6 or 8,000 subscribers, and with those kind of people, well, I think maybe some people, like English speaking people, even found some of my stuff because I made some subtitles, etc. And of course, being me, I, after some courses about YouTube optimization, etc., I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I'm gonna do these videos the best I can. And maybe I did them the best I could, but at the same time I was not prepared that with 8,000 plus subs I would get like a ton of haters, and types of haters like well, I made a video about cartoon, LGBT cartoon, animated uh, animated short movies, yeah, stuff like that. And YouTube, I like YouTube sometimes because he uh, make videos rank that you don't really need for your channel. Let's put it like that. Like, or maybe in, well, that's the first thing, and the second thing is it also makes your videos ranks. They it put your videos in recommended to people who are not interested in this kind of stuff. Like, the amount of comments I got about how I need to be like, and assaulted, etc., etc. Like, it was such a dark place for a month or two, and I didn't know what to do with it. And one side of these comments, like, I had two types of comments mostly, and it was annoying to no end, and no one, like, kind of understood, because I got frustrated with the second types of comments, and it was like, yay, Yaoi is the best thing. Guys together, they're so cute. Like, maybe I was kind of that girl who was really into, like, yay, I saw this movie, it was amazing, you need to see it too. But not because I thought that two guys together breathing, like, is the best thing ever. No, I just liked the um, plot, maybe, or the way it was designed and created, etc. But yaoi fans, young girls, yaoi fans, they were like, especially because it got really toxic when some people like uh, they were not really understanding when I was like kind of joking. And after that, I on a new channel, I think, or was it, or maybe even there, I created specifically a character like Slash Fangirl, and just to like show people that, yeah, that's the character who's like obsessed with BL, etc., and she sees it everywhere, etc., etc., etc. Why are we speaking about it in imaginary plot review? Who knows? So I created this creepy girl. The main plot was like weird, but I needed it. So she uh, had this guy who was kind of interested in her, and she kidnapped him, and she was trying to make him watch stuff with her and like discuss about BL, etc. And the funny thing is that still, like, I created a character. I was like, she's too much, she's a character. And still some people were like, yeah, we all exactly like her. And I was like, no, don't you understand, like, we are not like her. And just like, maybe it was fun when you were 14 years old and you were just discovering what this BL stuff was, but when you getting really older, you're like, and yeah, but also I'm that weird kid kid, well, 30 years plus kid who was who got into yaoi manga when I was, I think, 15 or 16, and I read a lot of trashy stuff. And even if some people think that a lot of stuff is like, yeah, it's good, it's classic, etc., but no, no, for me, some stuff would still be trashy, and it was trashy before, and now it's still trashy. And also, I kind of got into, with the years, into horror BL stuff, and well, not horror because, yeah, he was abusing him and kind of forcing him, because it's basically a plot of like early yaoi mangas, and I was like, what the heck? What the heck? And even if some stories have uh, well, had, yeah, and still have um, nice, like, romance, a lot of them were with, can we ignore this thing and maybe also that thing, because it doesn't age well. And well, it wasn't good to begin with, but yeah. But I'm really actually glad that the horror BL and yaoi, well, yeah, yaoi manga, like, there are interesting stuff in there, and not just well, yeah, um, assaults, etc., but just interesting stuff and interesting stories. And there are some stories like you know, creepypasta kind of stories, and I found it interesting. Not and yeah, of course, there are some stories like I think when I was watching some of them, one of the story actually began with I was born in crap. And I was like, What? I'm sorry, what? And yeah, the first scenes were like he was burst in the toilet, and yeah, and it was a really, really weird story. Though, I kind of like my psychology horrors, but also, a funny story. I was making a video about Baghead, and actually, a few years ago, I kind of found out that there were two yaoi. Well, one is technically Shonen Ai, and the second one is yaoi Among Us with killers in Baghead, and I was like, okay, okay. Uh, it was so weird. It was so weird, but one story I actually like. The second one, the second one is typical yaoi manga. Um, with funny stuff, funny characters, fun situations, but, but, mm, assaults, kind of. Yeah, not really a big fan, and that's sad. So, I think it's like 2 a.m. at my place, so I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and talk with you about this imaginary movie. And thanks a lot for all the people, or maybe a person who was here also with me. So, yay! Yay! Thanks a lot for sticking out with me and for listening. How I ramble about stuff. And that was it. Bye, guys. And I guess I will see you on my channel sometime in the future. So, bye. So, now the big question, how to stop the translation?